Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays. Um, got a few, maybe four, um, some more Glenn Ford movies. I didn't realize I was going to have so many Glenn Ford stuff. I didn't realize I was going to do a Glenn Ford, have two parts this summer, and do so many Western related stuff. So, I mean, it's not Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays Western channel. Um, I'm just digging through a lot of cool. It's like a gold miner. You know, you're digging through all this rock, and then you hit some gold, man, and you're just like digging this gold out for a good. You know, I hit a vein of good Western gold, man. Western gold. So I found some cool stuff. First, let me show you something of Glenn Ford's that's not a Western. It stars Marlon Brando, Glenn Ford, and Machiko Koi. Plays the geisha girl. You know what I'm talking about. The Tea House of the August Moon. This came out in 1956. Um, it's got a questionable performance by Marlon Brando. He's portraying a Japanese man. He's kind of a opportunist. He's kind of a character who can get stuff, and he's basically gets his village all this stuff from the army. But back to his character again, he's portraying a Asian character. I know today this would be frowned upon. I haven't heard anything in particular about this film or anything. It's a great film. It's very funny. It's very heartwarming, actually, too. And I guess Marlon Brando, and you watch him, you kind of forgive that. You know that this is the 1950s. Would it be done today? Of course not. It would be completely ridiculous and pretty prejudiced, kind of a racial thing nowadays. Obviously, for good reason. But back then, it was a movie. I don't know why. They did it. MGM came out. Marlon Brando's really good in this portrayal. I mean, he's very funny. He's very, he really brings a character to this. So I don't know. He was someone who was a be the character. He was a very I'm forgetting the acting term, but he would be the character. So so he really got into the character of this Japanese. I'm trying to think of, I mean, he was a serious actor, obviously, but a great film overall. I mean, it's a great Glenn Ford. Glenn Ford's great in it. Um, it's got Eddie Albert. Can't forget him. He's got a really good co-starring role in it. Is kind of the guy that's sent in to kind of look over what Glenn Ford is doing in this village, because he's ordering all this stuff. They build a tea house, and they're supposed to just help them. This is after World War II, so they're the army's coming in. They're starting to help the villages and the people get back into living, build their cities back a little bit after the bombing and all that. Um, which I won't go into all that, but this is more lighthearted. It's fun. Paul Ford, I think, plays the general who's over everyone. So basically, they send Eddie Albert, who's supposed to be a really serious person and everything. They send him to the village, and he ends up getting kind of sucked into this village because of the charisma of Marlon Brando's character and Glenn Ford, and he gets more laid back in it, and then ends up the general has to come and see what's going on in this little village and stuff. So it's really cool. It's directed by Daniel Mann, produced by Jack Cummings for Metro Goldwyn Mayer, also known as MGM, in 1956. So great movie. Leonard Maltin gave it 3.5 stars. Outstanding, warm, and memorable, he said. So there you go. The Tea House of the August Moon. As I was saying, I kind of got into some Glenn Ford movies. If you saw the other ones, the best ones he did, the best westerns and stuff. So that kind of got me really familiar with Glenn Ford more so. More so past him being really good in the gosh, what's the name of it? The Rita Hayworth movie, Gilda. You know, he got really big off Gilda. Um, what's another one? He's really good in. He did some stuff like The Big Heat. You know, film noir. He plays a cop and stuff. And then he got into some westerns, and he did these good westerns. So, anyways, Glenn Ford's a great actor. He did everything you can think of. He even played Clark Kent's father, adoptive Earth father, and everything. And, you know, on a side note, Marlon Brando plays the dude, you know. So anyways, guys, let's move on to a couple. These are some of the final Glenn Ford westerns that I got that maybe I didn't, you know, come across in the other video. So let's go through those quickly. The Man from Colorado. This is a movie from 1948. Stars Glenn Ford. William Holden is in it. Ellen Drew and Edgar Buchanan, which is always good. Directed by Henry Levin. Really good movie. It's very suspenseful. It's tightly directed, and you know, it's great direction. Basically, Glenn Ford plays an ex-Civil War veteran who he's very sadistic. The war has changed this once outgoing, very well-liked man in his community. War starts, he goes off, he makes rank. He's you know, I think he's a major or a lieutenant or something, a captain maybe, and the war turns him very sadistic. He gets very bloodthirsty. He wants to just, you know, he has these moments of what now we would call PTSD, which is, you know, a lot of veterans come back feeling, you know, they have basically depression. You know, it's PTSD. But, you know, back during the Civil War, you know, he had these, you know, bouts of, you know, he was questioning himself. He would do these things, and then he would question himself. He would write in his diary and stuff, you know. And basically the movie doesn't portray it so much like he has, you know, they kind of portray what he has is you know, he's crazy and he needs to go off and take a long rest for a little while. But basically, William Holden plays his best friend. They both, you know, grow up together, get in the army together. They're friends and stuff. And he stays pretty level-headed still, and he's always kind of keeping Glenn Ford steady, even talking him out of some problems he got himself into and everything. So it's really good. You know, basically he comes back and helps and gets married, and it basically shows the effects of war on someone in maybe an extreme way, but you know, but for 1948, this is after World War II, so maybe they were trying to start slowly talking about the effects of war and stuff. So but yeah, overall it's good. Great performance. It's kind of a different performance. William Holden's really good in it. So there you go, The Man from Colorado. Now, next up, I have a movie. I wasn't going to get this. I was going to I saw this. Another Amazon great buy, like $11. The Sheep Man. This is from 1958. Stars Shirley MacLaine, Leslie Nielsen, George Marshall directed. It's really a comedy. It's a comedy. It's a comedy western. It's very funny, actually. It's very, very funny. Glenn Ford just plays this guy that's just, you know, he's just getting back at the town, and it's just hilarious. He inherits all these sheep, and he brings it into this cattle town, basically. Everyone has cattle. They don't want sheep mixing with the cattle, and blah, 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 blah. to comic proportions. It's really funny, actually. I didn't realize it was going to be that funny, but Edgar Buchanan co-stars in it. As always, he's always really good. He was in Man from Colorado too. He's been in a lot of westerns. He's really good in that too. More of a serious role. He's not playing kind of a half-drunken sheriff or anything. He's playing more of a serious roles in these two. Really good. Mickey Shaughnessy is in this. Leslie Nielsen is really good. It's kind of he goes up against Leslie Nielsen a lot as a cattleman. And Shirley MacLaine is actually pretty good. I usually don't really dig her for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's growing up in the 80s and she was doing the whole psychic stuff. She had the little commercials, she was all into psychic stuff, and she was really weird, in the late 80s and stuff, and maybe that turned me off towards her. I don't know, but she's good in this. Just funny. It's a really good movie. So if you're looking for something different with a little comic edge and stuff, The Sheepman is pretty interesting. Now, next up, and finally, a movie that I had known about it for years and just thought, it's just a late John Wayne movie. It's not so, maybe it's not so good, blah, blah. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not, but I'll get it sometime. Well, finally, I got this movie after so many years. I got a used copy recently. It's John Wayne and Rock Hudson in The Undefeated. And this movie is directed by Andrew V. McLaughlin, son of Victor McLaughlin. And John Wayne, Rock Hudson. It's got Ben Johnson's in there. Really good movie. It actually surprised me. And the copy looked really good. This is maybe a 2005 release, 20th Century Fox widescreen edition. Looked really good. It was a good story. I guess I got into it. I mean, it's not like rewriting westerns or anything. So, but really good movie, and Rock Hudson was really good in it. So, yeah, check that out. The Undefeated. So there you go. So that's about it, and just thought I'd go over some of the little trimmings of Western movies that I kind of didn't go over in my other videos. Check those out, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed, and comment what you thought about these. I really have been geared towards the underrated and kind of odd westerns that don't get a lot of acclaim. That's kind of what I was going for in some of these, and well, in movies in general, but here lately with westerns, that's what I've been doing. So I don't know. So yeah, it's been this summer 2020. It's been a crazy year so far, but this has been westerns for me this 2020 summer. So there you go. So guys, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in and watching, and I will see you next time for another video. Later.